Welcome back to the Retirement Report. I'm Hank Parrott, your host. Okay, we're going to go right back into the annuity conversation here, again with this piece from Nationwide Retirement Institute. Friendly fact, okay, annuities are designed to be long-term investments. This is one of the things. If you're looking at annuities for general, we're going to talk about fixed annuities, and a fixed annuity is kind of like a CD, okay, and there your time frame could be shorter, maybe 2 to 5 years as an example, to get a better interest rate than you might through, say, bank CDs. Another is, however, on longer term contracts, we may be looking at, you can get them in, 6, 10, 12, 15 plus years, so you want to make sure we're matching up the right term with what your needs are. So we're going to talk about the 4 types of annuities to start with. One is an immediate guaranteed income, and this is from an immediate annuity, so you're converting a lump sum into an ongoing guaranteed stream of income, and guaranteed payments begin within, this is real key, for an immediate annuity, they have to begin, in fact, within the first year. So when you take out an immediate annuity, we're usually looking for something where the income's going to start right away, usually within 30 days type of thing, but certainly within that first year. If it's deferred for whatever reason, 4 or 5 months, that's, that could be the case. But it's an immediate, again, we want to start that right away. And so this is sometimes can be helpful. Again, we're looking for that guaranteed income. So we've got Social Security, guaranteed income there. Maybe you have a pension, and one of the fortunate few, only about 20% of people out there do have a pension. And of course, they're much smaller today, so that's not helpful either. But maybe you have that, or maybe you have some rental property or other income sources. Maybe you're going to work part-time. All the different things that you may do in retirement to make sure that you're able to attain and maintain your standard living quality of life no matter how long you live. That's all part of it. Now, we may get into longer term, okay, where we're looking at, well, I don't need the income right now, but, I'm going to need it in, say 3 years or 5 years or whatever it is, and we look at different type of annuities there. So, for instance, a fixed annuity could be one that fits for that. Now, a fixed annuity is more like a CD. You get a guaranteed interest rate, there's no market participation, and your principal investment is guaranteed. So here, again, your principal is guaranteed, the interest rate you're going to get is guaranteed. 2 years right now, I think you can get around 3% on a 3-year, up in the 3.5 plus range. Excuse me, up to 4% maybe even. And then on a 5-year, we're looking at rates over 5% right now. So interest rates are, one of the plus sides, I guess, with interest rates going up is the fact that you can get more on your money. And I think interest rates, we'll see what happens again when the Fed meets, but we may see interest rates increase before this year is out. Maybe we might even get up to around 6% a year on a 5-year. That'd be a great thing, a great time to lock in a really good rate. When you think of the S&P 500 is only average about 6% a year over the last 20 years, if you can get a guaranteed fix that's not going to, be up, down, and sideways, but guaranteed, knowing, in the pocket, anywhere between 5 and 6 is a very strong rate. So if you're interested in that, again, you can call my office. These are called multi-year guaranteed annuities. This type of fixed annuity that I mainly work with. So what we're looking at there is where we're getting a guaranteed amount of interest for a guaranteed specified period of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 years typically. And then at the end of that period, we can take that money out, reinvest it. If we like the renewal rate, we can just renew it with the same company. But we'd be shopping always to try to make sure we're getting, or to be sure that we're getting the best deal out there. All right, and then we're looking at variable annuities. Variable annuities, this is where you're, tied to the market. So in other words, a variable annuity has sub-accounts, much like mutual funds. And with these, the biggest problem with variable annuities is you're taking on that risk of the market still. Now, some of them will have different riders that can provide some benefits that may be attractive. However, again, you can get those on a fixed side without the fees typically associated with variable annuities. So if I'm going to be invested in the market, I think I'd rather go in the market more directly through mutual funds funds or exchange-traded funds, ETFs, rather than through a variable annuity where I have much higher fees. You're looking at fees typically 3 to 5% even a year. So it's kind of hard to make money when you've got that heavy a fee load. Now, fixed index annuities, on the other hand, this is where you're tied to the market, but your principal is protected. So protect your principal in a down market, and yet also provide some opportunity for growth. Guaranteed protection with growth potential tied to different indices. Now, sometimes it's like an S&P 500 index. Sometimes it could be the Dow Jones Industrial Average, a Russell 2000. There are international and emerging market ones like EFA, Euro Asia Far East. Lots of different indexes that you can invest in through fixed index annuities. And another that you're looking at is that of, and you're not direct in the market with these, and I'll get into more detail as we go through here this morning. But basically, with a fixed index annuity, there are other indexes that are available these days besides just your traditional S&P and Dow Jones. There are ones by different banks that have put out there. Citibank has one called the Grandmaster. Let's see, I think it's Barclays that has one. I think Barclays does the Schiller Cape index, for instance. There is, let's see, Bank of America has one, Merrill Lynch. There's a bunch of different banks that help develop these different indices with the goal of managing volatility and giving you an opportunity for growth without the risk of losing money. And again, spousal protection, death benefit, this is where, and you can do that whether through a variable annuity or a fixed annuity. You can get guarantees to, again, I mentioned about legacy. This is a way that you can not only protect your spouse, but also for non-spousal beneficiaries. All right, so let's talk about immediate annuities to start with. So with immediate annuity, this is the most basic type of annuity, okay? It's one lump sum. You just, here's, 100 grand or 200,000 or 500,000 or whatever it is based on how much income you're looking to get. It's going to be converted then into an ongoing guaranteed stream of income. This can be, and sometimes we'll use these more short term. We may take out an immediate annuity and we just want a 5-year payout. So we're wanting to earn some interest on it while it's paying out. But let's just say we just determine we're not going to do the lifetime income on it. We just want the higher income that comes with a short-term fixed period like 5 years, knowing that we're going to then take a deferred annuity that will start in year 6. So we cover the first 5 years of income, then starting in year 6 on. That gives us the ability to grow that money and get a higher income starting in year 6. That'll help stay up with inflation and give you a more solid foundation. And even there, you can do a 6-year that could be another 5-year term. All right, taking us out to 10 years now. Or we can take more of a lifetime income approach at that one. Just, again, depends on what your needs are and what the best products are out there in terms of how much income we can get off of them. Again, it's a lump sum contribution on the immediate annuities. Your withdrawals must begin within a year, as we mentioned. And one of the things to look at with the immediate annuity is how it might work with your overall planning. These aren't meant to be standalone things that you just do this one thing and nothing else, right? There's a lot more involved in it. So again, it has some tax advantages. It grows tax deferred, though a lot of times we use them with IRAs, so that's not necessarily a big, something we're worried about too much or concerned too much. Immediate payments, again, customized guaranteed income. And some of these you can get with inflation riders, for instance, where the income will go up over time, or with the return of premium benefit where it's going to pay out to you, but if you passed early, it's going to guarantee that the benefit or the amount that you originally invested would still go back into your estate. So for someone that's concerned about children, grandchildren, or wanting to leave money to whether it's individuals or institutions for that matter, like your church or something, that's something that may be attractive to you. Now, keeping in mind, when you start adding additional features like inflation riders or legacy benefits, such as return of premium, you're going to reduce your payout. So this is all part of what we balance out what's going to be the best situation for you. Before purchasing, again, they're not for everybody, and looking at the different options are important. Again, the inflation rider piece, whether that would be something that you need or not, we would look look at that as well. So when it comes to looking at annuities in general, just like with your overall comprehensive plan, we're looking at all the different resources out there available to you, how to invest in the market, how to invest to, this is another area, by the way, when we get into the fixed index part here in a few minutes, I'll elaborate more on this, but annuities can also be a good addition to a portfolio in place of bonds, and we've got some research pieces from Roger Ibbotson as well as Barclays Bank that have researched the benefits of annuities and compared fixed index annuities, uncapped fixed index annuities with bonds, and shown that basically they outperform bonds as well as they're less volatile, less risky. In particular, we see that this year. I talked about the stock market. Well, bonds are also down this year, and this is one of the reasons this year has been particularly hard on your portfolio, is it's not just that stocks are down, but bonds are down. And I'll get you an update on that, but basically down about 15% year to date, and they could get worse before it gets better. So which bonds you're invested into, which funds, this is another key part, because the overall bond market being down, something you want to look at, and this is where, again, maybe replacing some of those bonds with fixed index annuities could be a way to overall improve your portfolio, your rates of return, as well as reducing your risk. All right, fixed annuities. Now, fixed annuity basically is kind of like a CD. You're locking in a rate of earning unaffected by market ups and downs. It's a fixed rate. In other words, here it is. You're going to take, let's say on a 5-year, I'm going to get 5% guaranteed per year for 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, I get to determine whether they're going to, just like at your bank CD, right? What happens at the end? They give you an option to a new interest rate. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, and you determine whether you want to renew it with that same institution because you like the rate, or whether you're going to look at other institutions maybe to seek a better rate, or some entirely different investment, or maybe you grew it for 5 years because you wanted to then use the money to pay off a mortgage or buy a vacation property or a new vehicle or whatever it might be. So there's a lot of ways that these can be used to help your overall planning. And again, your principal as well as the interest rate you're going to get are both guaranteed. So if you're looking for a guaranteed interest rate, you don't want to, be in the stock market or worry about market participation, minimal investment risk, but still a chance to grow, then a fixed annuity may be good for you. And again, the benefits, tax deferral, all annuities give you that benefit. So whether it's an IRA, of course, where you get it as a part of being an IRA, or if it's non-qualified, just savings, if you like the idea of being able to more control your taxable income, then this is another area where fixed annuities can be a benefit. It's a way that we can annuities in general, a way that we can control your taxes, how much you're going to have in taxable income each year. A lot of different ways we use these to help reduce your taxes. Principal and interest protection, no market risk, flexibility, lower investment minimums, and beneficiary protection as well. So if you pass away, annuities like CDs, again, you're going to have penalties for early withdrawal, so you want to factor that in. However, most annuities, not all, but most, if you pass away prior to the end of the term, they'll waive penalties for the beneficiary, so they're not going to have to they're going to get the full amount you invested plus all the earnings on that at the same time. Now, fixed annuities are going to have less opportunity for growth. Rates are inconsistent over the long term. What that means simply is I can put it in there for 5 years, but I don't know what interest rates are going to be 5 years from now. When my fixed annuity is up, are rates going to be as high as they were when I took it out? Are they going to be lower? Or maybe increase. All of those are concerns that we have when it comes to some of the downsides, and that interest may not be enough to keep up with inflation, especially in a time like this. In fact, I'm going to talk a little bit more about inflation and how these work for that as well. But first, a break. Join us here. We'll be right back on the Retirement Report.